Hello, everyone. I know I'm 2 weeks late on this, but I'm going to give out my official 2026 MLB predictions. Um, we're going to predict where I think everyone's going to finish in our division standings, the six playoff teams for each league, Cy Youngs, MVPs, Rookie of the Years, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's start in the American League East, where in last place I have the Tampa Bay Rays. I think the Rays are going to be solid, like maybe a little bit below 500, like 75, 80 wins around there. It's not that they're a bad team, it's just the AL East is just so stacked. And I think it's because the Rays have the least firepower in the division, which is why I think they're going to be in last. And really excited to watch Junior Caminero. Really excited to watch Shane McClanahan be back healthy for the first time in forever. And also really excited to watch Ryan Pepio when he gets back healthy. And Jonathan Aranda as well. But yeah, I got the Rays coming in last. Fourth place, I have the Orioles. The Orioles, they got Pete Alonso. They made a big move to sign Pete Alonso. Other than that, their team's pretty much the same. They still have a great hitting team or offense with Adley Rutschman, Samuel Basayo. First base is obviously Pete. Jackson Holliday when he gets healthy. Gunnar Henderson, Colton Cowser, Jordan Westberg. Dylan Beavers, Jeremiah Jackson. Like the Orioles, they have a loaded position player group. And then their starting rotation's pretty nice too. Trevor Rogers, Shane Boz looks pretty good. Who else do they have in that starting rotation? Kyle Bradish, I think, is going to be starting for them, as well as others, Chris Bassett, which I still can't believe Dean Kramer's in the minors right now, by the way. I don't know. I think that Dean Kramer should be at least coming out of the bullpen. I don't think they should have sent him down, but oh well, it is what it is. But the Orioles have a pretty good team. It's just this would be a team that would be contending for a division title if the Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Yankees were into the division. So yeah, I got the Orioles coming in fourth. Speaking of the Yankees, I'm probably gonna regret this, but I'm gonna have them coming in third. The Yankees. They didn't really make any additions to their team. They didn't. They just decided to run it back. They brought back Bellinger. Still got Judge in that mega deal. You have Jazz for another year. Max Fried again. Cam Schlittler. Who else do they got? Volpe, Caballero, McMahon, Ahmed Rosario they brought back. Trent Grisham, Ben Rice, Wells. Like the Yankees, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a good team. They brought back the same team. They just, they need to clean up some things. They need to clean up their defense. They just need to clean up the fundamentals, and I honestly think they could get number 28 this year. The Yankees aren't a bad team. They're a really good team. But I think the Blue Jays and Red Sox got a lot better than they did. So I'm going to have the Yankees coming home in third in the AL East, and I'm going to say this, I think I'm going to regret that. Coming in second, I got the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, they kept the same team from the World Series as well. You still got Vladdy, no more Bo Bichette, but they brought in Kazuma Okamoto from Japan, which is a really nice signing. Addison Barger's still there. Alejandro Kirk, Ernie Clement, Andres Jimenez is starting to hit. Dalton Varsho, Jesus Sanchez they brought over in a trade from Houston. They signed Dylan Cease. They still have Gausman, Barrios. They brought back Scherzer. Um, the Blue Jays they have a team to go back to the World Series. Um, I don't know if I mentioned Dylan Cease, but he's on this team now too, which is insane. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how the Blue Jays do. It should be really fun, a really good team. Um, I know they had a little bit of a slow start to the year, but that's okay. We're only 2 weeks into the season, um, but there's still plenty of time for them to get back up to the top of the division. They're only 4-7 right now, and hopefully Alejandro Kirk comes back soon. I know he's out for 6 weeks, but you never know. You never know. People could heal faster. But yeah, I still think the Blue Jays are going to be pretty good. I feel like they got better and where they needed to be. Hopefully, Jeff Hoffman can stop giving up home runs. Hopefully, Tyler Rogers can be really good. Hopefully, Brendan Little figures out some things because he's struggled to start the year. But yeah, I still think even though the Blue Jays are starting off slow, I think they're going to finish second in the division. And ironically, the team that's last in the division right now is the team before the season I picked to win the division. I thought the Red Sox were going to be really, really good. I still think they will be, and so I have them coming in first in the AL East, which, ooh, not looking great. The Red Sox, they brought in a bunch of names. They brought in Sonny Gray. They brought in Ranger Suarez. They brought in those two to help out the pitching staff. They brought in Wilson Contreras to hit. They brought in Caleb Durbin, which was shocking. Um, and then they lost. Obviously, they lost Bregman, but they kept Roman Anthony's still going to be a stud. Cedar Rafaela's going to be really good. Wilyer Abreu, Jaron Duran. Like they have four really good outfielders. That reminds me of the Cubs last year. Um, and then they also have Marcelo Meyer, Carlos Narvaez, Brian Bayo staying for another year. You got Chapman and Whitlock at the end of the pen. Yeah, the Red Sox, yes, they are having a slow start to the season, but I think they're going to figure it out soon. And I still think this is the best team in the AL East. I have the Red Sox winning the division. So now we go to the AL Central, where coming in last, it's pretty obvious, but I got the Twins. The Twins, they don't have much. Pablo Lopez, I was really excited to see him pitch for the full season, but obviously we know he's got Tommy John. Joe Ryan, I think, is going to be really good again. I don't know if he's going to stay the whole year in Minnesota, but we'll see. Hopefully Byron Buxton can stay healthy again. Luke Keyshaw, I'm intrigued to see this year. Brooks Lee, I think, is going to have a really good year. Ryan Jeffers, I think, should bounce back. Cody Clemens looked pretty awesome when he was with Minnesota last year. So the Twins have some things to be excited about, but there's not a lot after the purgatory they did at the deadline last year. And hopefully Royce Lewis can hit again like he did back in 2023. But yeah, there's not much to excite me about for the Twins. I have them coming in last. Coming in fourth, I got the team that's currently in fourth in the division, the White Sox. The White Sox, I think they're going to be better this year. I think they're going to be around 72 to 76 wins. They're going to be better. The signing of Munetaka Murakami has been phenomenal. That was insane how they got him. Sir Anthony Dominguez, I think, is going to be a pretty good get. I know he didn't start off the year well, but he'll figure it out. Colson Montgomery is only going to get better. Same with Chase Mydroth. Same with Edgar Carroll. Shane Smith and Sean Burke will figure it out. I like those two leading the rotation, as well as Anthony Kay. He's had a good start to the year. Mike Vasil, losing him for the season with Tommy John sucks because I really thought he'd be their closer this year. And a pretty good one, in fact. Who else do they got in the outfield? Their outfield is very interesting. Tristan Peters, Everson Pereira, Austin Hayes. It's a very interesting outfield. that the White Sox have. Not what I was expecting, to be honest with you. Um, but yeah, I think the White Sox will be better this year. Um, sure, they got some things they got to work on, but that's okay. They're a young team. They'll eventually figure it out. And right now, I think they're just the fourth best team in the AL Central, so that's where I got them. Coming in third, I think I'm going to regret this too, but I got the Guardians. The Guardians have a pretty good team. They have a pretty good team. Jose Ramirez is a Guardian for life. That's got to be incredible for all Guardians fans. You brought in Reese Hoskins to be at first base with Kyle Manzardo, which I think Manzardo should be the starter there every day because he's a really good player. Chase Stillwater, what a start to the season he's had, huh? I still can't believe they brought him up for the playoffs last year, but the Guardians saw something, and I think we're now starting to see their division. Brian Rocchio's hitting. Stephen Kwan's going to be Stephen Kwan. Amazing. Gabriel Arias is solid. Bo Naylor's still a solid player. And then they're bringing in the young guys like Schneemann, Kafis. They're bringing in the young guys and the young guys are starting to produce. Kafis had a really big game a few days ago against the Cubs. And Schneemann was really solid last year, and he's been pretty solid to start this year. And then you got the pitching staff. The bullpen's insane with Cade Smith, Tim Herron, and Hunter Gaddis once he's off the IL. And then you got the starters with Tanner Bybee, Gavin Williams, Parker Messick has looked really good. Yeah, the Guardians, they have a pretty good team. I think they should make the playoffs again. But judging by what I thought in the offseason to now, I'm going to regret putting the Guardians in third. But yeah, I have Cleveland in third. I think they're going to make the playoffs in real life, but I didn't have them making the playoffs in this prediction before the season. So, And then coming in second, I got the team that's currently in second. It's the Royals. I thought the Royals, they had a pretty good offseason, made some moves. Obviously trading away Angel Zerpa was, I think, the right move. They got Isaac Collins and Nick Mears back, which I think are two really good pieces. They signed Lane Thomas from Cleveland. Obviously keeping that whole stacked infield, which is the heart of their team. Bobby Witt, Michael Garcia, Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez. It's got Jack Caglione in the outfield, as well as Kyle Isbell, who's in a really good start to the year. Who else do they have? Carter Jensen as a backup catcher. And Michael Massey's back. And then they got the pitching staff and the bullpen. Seth Lugo, Cole Ragans, Chris Bubich, Michael Walker. That's a really good top four starting rotation for the Royals. And then their bullpen, Lucas Urseg and Carlos Estevez, whenever he gets back healthy, will lock it down. And I have a good feeling about the Royals this year. I think the Royals will make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to win the division. And I have them coming home in a close second in the division. Because the team that I have winning the division is currently last, but they're only 2.5 games back, so there's still plenty of time to go. But my AL Central champions were the Tigers. And the Tigers, yes, there was a lot of stuff going on around Tarek Skubal and all of that jazz. But, they paid Framber Valdez, which means that I think this is the last year that the Tigers are going to have Skubal. But that's okay. They have one more run. They're going to be okay. Kevin McGonigal looks insane as a rookie. Javi Baez is... But you still got Torque. You still got Dylan Dingler behind the plate. You also got Glaber. Riley Green is out there in left with Kerry Carpenter in right. Parker Meadows out in center. This is a good team. They should figure it out. And I think the Tigers will get back to the top, especially with They're a really good pitching staff of Skubal, Valdez, Mize, Troy Melton when he gets up there, um, Justin Verlander, and then other guys in the bullpen like Will Vest, Brant Herter, um, and others that I can't think of right now. Oh, Kyle Finnegan. But yeah, I think the Tigers, they're going to be um, first in the AL Central by the time October hits. Now we go to the AL West, where in last I had the Angels. The Angels, they had a very quiet off season, really. Um, they brought in some bullpen arms like Drew Pomerantz and Kirby Yates, which Pomerantz has looked okay. But they still got studs and Zach Neto, ow, Mike Trout, Logan O'Hoppe, Joe Adele, who robs 3 home runs in a game. That's just incredible. Um, Nolan Shawnuel's still there. Yohan Moncada. They lost Luis Rengifo, which sucks, but I think Moncada would be better as long as he stays healthy. And then obviously they traded Taylor Ward for Grayson Rodriguez, and Grayson Rodriguez is hurt again. So, oh well. But yeah, I think the Angels, they're gonna be bad. They're gonna be bad again. They're starting off decent, but they're probably gonna fall off as usual. So yeah, really excited to see what the starting pitching staff could do. Yusei Kikuchi, Jose Soriano has been really good. So there's that. At least he's improving. But yeah, I think the Angels are going to be in fifth. Coming in fourth, I got the Sacramento Athletics. The A's, they have a really good offense. We all know that. Nick Kurtz being the forefront of it, as well as Shea Langoliers, Jacob Wilson, Lawrence Butler, Brent Rooker. They traded for Jeff McNeil. Their pitching staff is still very, what's it called? It could be good at times. It could be bad at times. It's really inconsistent. But they have Jeffrey Springs, Luis Severino, and then the bullpen, they got Justin Sterner, Elvis Alvarado, and others. But the A's, they're a solid team. They're a solid team. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team just yet. Maybe give it another year and they'll be in the playoffs. But this is still a really, 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 really fun team. Coming in third, I got the Astros. Obviously, they lost Framber, but they still kept really the same team. You got in the infield Yainer Diaz, Christian Walker, Altuve, Pena, and then whatever they're doing with Correa and Paredes at third. But their outfield isn't the greatest as well. Was their outfield? Jake Myers is the top outfielder for them, which I don't think that's good for them. Um, and then obviously they traded away Mauricio Dubon, which stinks. They got Nick Allen, which is a good glove, just as good of a glove as Dubon, but Mauricio Dubon was the heart and soul of the team. Still got Caratini left too. But you still have Hunter Brown leading the rotation whenever he comes back. Still got Lance McCullers, still got Christian Javier. So they still have that identity of the championship team. But I don't know. They are. It looks like the Astros are on the decline. They missed the playoffs last year, and I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they're going in a good direction. But I still think they're the third best team in the division. They're a pretty solid team, but I don't think they're going to be better than the top two teams in the division. Coming in second, I got the Rangers. The Rangers, they're going to get Nathan Eovaldi back. They're going to get Jacob DeGrom. You still got Seager. You traded away Semien, but you got Brandon Nimmo, which I think is a better get. Because I think Semien's on the decline and Nimmo is on the incline, I guess. I guess that's how you say it. Adolis Garcia's gone, but I think that's a good thing because you got Wyatt Langford now in the outfield, and Evan Carter's going to get more reps with his good plate discipline. Um, and then you also have Josh Young, Josh Smith, which is a really underrated player. No more Jonah Heim at catcher. I think it's Higgy. I think Kyle Higashioka is their starting catcher. But you also got Jock Peterson. You also got Danny Jansen. I think is still Danny Jansen came over, and Danny Jansen's got to be the starting catcher. And I think the Rangers are gonna have a pretty solid team. I think they're gonna be pretty good. They might make the playoffs. They're leading the West right now, but I think there's one team that's better than them in the AL West. But I think they're gonna have a pretty good season. And then finally, the top team in the AL West, I got the Mariners. The Mariners, they kept the same team as last year mainly. No more Suarez though at third. They're going to bring in Brendan Donovan. They traded for him to be their third baseman. You got J.P. Crawford still. Cole Young's now at second. They brought back Josh Naylor. Cal Raleigh's had a slow start to the year, but he should pick it up. Not to the level he was last year, though. Still got Julio and Randy in the outfield, as well as Luke Raley, who's had a great start to the year. And then the pitching. Oh boy, it's nasty. George Kirby, Luis Castillo still the starting. Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and Bryce Miller. And then the bullpen still got Munoz, Vargas whenever he comes back healthy. Jose Ferrer they traded for the Nationals, which I think is a really good trade. And the Mariners have a really good team. They have a really good team. They're going to be hard to beat in the West. I know they're starting off slow now, but there's still plenty of season to go. So, let's do. Okay, so the AL division, we're going to do the playoffs now. So the AL division leaders, or winners, I should say, were the Mariners, Tigers, and Red Sox, which, ironically enough, they're all at the bottom of their division, or close to it. So, the 3 wild card teams. This is going to be tough because there's going to be a lot of teams I like that are going to get left off. Let me just go with some teams that are going to be left off from my. I'm going to leave off the Orioles. I'm going to leave off the Astros. Man. I feel like the Yankees and Blue Jays will be wild card teams. So now we're down to one more. So get rid of the Guardians. It's gonna be either the Royals or the Rangers. And oh man, this is tough. This is a tough one. I don't know. I think I'm gonna say the Royals. I have a better idea or a better feeling of Kansas City than Texas, but judging by how the season started, I think I'm going to regret some of these playoff predictions. And that's my playoff predictions. Mariners, Tigers, Red Sox division winners, and then Blue Jays, Yankees, and Royals as the wild card teams. Now we're going to do AL MVP, which it's going to be Aaron Judge, because it's been Aaron Judge for the past 2 seasons. And if Cal Raleigh can hit 60 home runs and not win MVP, it's going to be pretty hard to beat Aaron Judge year in and year out. So I'm going to have to see Aaron Judge be beat to believe it. And then AL Cy Young, there's a lot of Tarek Skubal hype, of course. There's a lot of Garrett Crochet hype. But I'm going to go with the guy that had a really good season last year. Cy Young worthy, in my opinion, until he got hurt. And my Cy Young pick for this year in the American League is Nathan Eovaldi. He had a really good start, really good season last year until he got hurt. I think he would have been top 3 in Cy Young voting if he didn't get hurt. But yeah, he's aging like fine wine, and I think this is going to be the best season of his career, and it's going to result in him getting a Cy Young. And then my AL Rookie of the Year, it's going to be Kevin McGonigal because he had a lot of hype coming up this spring, and boy, has he delivered. So, yeah, that's my AL MVP. It's Judge again, AL Cy Young, Nathan Eovaldi, and AL Rookie of the Year, chalk, but Kevin McGonigal. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's won by Chase DeLauder or Murakami. So, yeah, that's my predictions for the American League. We're halfway done. Let's go to the National League and start off with the National League East. We're coming in last. We got the Nationals. The Nationals, I'm really surprised they traded Mackenzie Gore. Oh, there's another Ranger. I'm really surprised they traded Mackenzie Gore. I know they got a lot of picks, but I'm not sure why they want to stay on the rebuild. I guess they didn't think Mackenzie Gore was a part of the new core to bring playoff baseball back to the nation's capital. But Cade Cavalli looks decent as a ace. They really don't have much going on in the bullpen right now that I'm interested in seeing. But they do have some hitters. Obviously, James Wood. Hopefully, he can bounce back after the rough end of last season, rough second half. Dalen Lyle was amazing in the second half of the season. Can't wait to see how he is. CJ Abrams is still here. Luis Garcia is still here. Can't wait to see what year 2 of Brady House looks like. But overall, the Nationals, Jacob Young's glove, who can't wait to watch some more web gems from him. The Nationals, they have some position players. They just need pitching. And I think this team's a year or two away from starting to ascend. They're a long ways away from competing, but they're getting there. Coming in fourth, I feel like I'm going to regret this, but the Braves. I got the Braves in fourth. This is going to be a hot take for most people. But the Braves, coming into the season, obviously, they have a lot of injuries. Spencer Strider's on the IL. Spencer Swellenbach's on the IL. Hurston Waldrop's on the IL. Jurickson Profar got banned for the season and is not coming back, it looks like. But yeah, the Braves, they had a ton of impact players on the shelf. I love the signing of Robert Suarez, and I love the signing of Mike Yastrzemski. They've both been pretty good to start the season. Matt Olson's still here. He's still amazing. Ozzy Albies is still amazing. Still got Ronald Acuna. Still have Michael Harris. Still have Austin Riley. Drake Baldwin is only going to get better in year 2. Chris Sale's back. The Braves, they got guys. Dylan Leo, the pen. They got a great team. But it's just, can they overcome the injury bug? And right now, with the start of the season they had, I don't think so. So I'm going to have the Braves in fourth in the division standings and well outside of a playoff spot. Coming in third is a team that a lot of people I see are sleeping on, I think. But I think they could make the playoffs. And judging by how they've been to start the season, I think they're going to be either in the playoffs or right outside of the playoffs. But I got the Marlins finishing third. And the Marlins, this team's ready to go. Sandy Alcantara's still here, and he's pitching back to Sandy levels. Trade away Edward Cabrera, but you got Owen Casey, and that's already looked like a really good deal for both sides, honestly. Kyle Stowers is going to be out for a month, but that's okay. You got Jacob Marcy in the outfield, too. Liam Hicks has been really good to start the year. Augustine Ramirez has been quiet to start the season, and obviously he has defensive issues. Xavier Edwards is going to be Xavier Edwards. He's going to be really good. Otto Lopez is still here. He's awesome. But yeah, the Marlins, they have a really fun team. Forgot about Yuri Perez as well. He's really good. And they signed Pete Fairbanks to be their closer, which I love it. I love signing Pete Fairbanks for the Marlins. Pete loves Florida, I guess. He wants to stay in Florida his whole career. I don't mind it. But yeah, this Marlins team, it's gonna be a pretty good year. I think it's gonna be a pretty good year down for the Fish. Um, I think they're gonna make the playoffs or be right outside of it. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close for the Marlins, but yeah, they're gonna be in the fight. They're just gonna come up a little short. They're gonna be third. Coming in second, I got the Phillies, who had a slow start to the year. The Phillies, they still have a great team. They have a great pitching staff. Christopher Sanchez, Zach Wheeler's back, Jesus Luzardo, Aaron Nola hopefully returns to form. Andrew Painter now, he's finally in the majors. And then you got the hitters. You got Trey Turner still, Harper, Schwarber, Alec Bohm still here, Real Muto. You brought in Adolis Garcia and you called up Justin Crawford. Johan Rojas got suspended for PEDs, but that's okay. I think that's fine. Rojas is more of a glove first guy anyway. But the Phillies, yeah, they still have a great team. Do I think they're going to win the division? No, because the Mets got better. But yeah, I still think the Phillies are going to be pretty decent. They still have a great team as always. Still have Yohan Duran in the bullpen, Orion Kerkering. Trade away Matt Strom to the Royals. There's another Royal. But yeah, I think the Phillies, they still got the same team pretty much, minus a few and adding a few players. But yeah, I think they're still going to be pretty solid. And they're going to be second in the division and fighting for a playoff spot come September. But coming in first, I got the Mets, who got a lot better. Trade away Brandon Nimmo, lost Pete Alonso, but they made some great signings. Brought in Bo Bichette, brought in Jorge Polanco, which I thought were really good signings. Also, you lost Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers. But that's okay. They brought in Devin Williams, and Devin Williams hasn't been that bad. Luke Weaver's been solid. Marcus Semion's been decent. Still got Lindor. Francisco Alvarez is catching as the starter, which I honestly think Luis Torrens should be the starter over him, in my opinion. But Mark Vientos is back to being 2024 Mark Vientos, which was fucking insane. Still got Soto, even though he's hurt. And then the starting pitching, which is, it's fun. Nolan McLean, David Peterson, Kodai Senga's back in the majors. Freddie Peralta they traded for. I forgot to say Marcus Semion's at second in that trade with Nimmo, but yeah. Oh, and they brought up Carson Bench, which he hasn't been. He's a rookie. Give him time. But yeah, the Mets have a pretty good team. They made a lot of moves to try and win. They brought in a lot of winning players. They're going to be pretty damn good, even though they lost some of their mainstays for 10 plus years or so in the cases of McNeil and Nimmo, and Alonso's been there for so long. But yeah, the Mets, they're still going to be pretty good, and yeah, I think they're the best team in the NL East. So put the Mets on top for the NL East. Now we go to the NL Central. Coming in last, I got the Cardinals. The Cardinals, they don't really have much. You get another fun year of Ivan Herrera. You get another year of Mason Wins, great defense and offense. Victor Scott was amazing last year. You called up J.J. Weatherholt, who is looking like the NL Rookie of the Year. Who else do they got? There's not really much to be excited about for the Cardinals. Sorry, Cardinals fans. Yoel Pozo, just got him as the backup catcher. And then the pitching staff, which there's not really much to be excited about, but Michael McGreevy looks pretty damn good. And then also the bullpen, Jojo Romero, I think, is going to be pretty good. And also, what's his name? Riley O'Brien. He looks pretty solid, too. But Yeah, there's not much to be excited about for the Cardinals right now. And yeah, I think they're going to be last in the Central. In fourth, I got the Pirates. The Pirates, they made some moves. Credit to them. They made some moves. They made the team better. Traded for Brandon Lau, which also brought over Jake Mangum, a young glove first outfielder who has speed. Mason Montgomery is going to be a solid piece out of the pen. You brought in Marcell Ozuna, which has been not great so far. Ryan O'Hearn's been pretty good. They brought him in. Um, but you still got O'Neal Cruz, which hopefully he can take the leap this year. Nick York has looked pretty good. Brian Reynolds, he's still Brian Reynolds, still great. Obviously, had that situation with Kutch and him leaving to go to Texas, which was really dumb. Um, but also, their pitching staff's elite. Skeens leading the way. Bubba Chandler, Mitch Keller, Carmen Majinski, and others. And then out of the pen, I mentioned Montgomery earlier, but you got Jose Urquidy, who's looked pretty solid to start the year, and then Dennis Santana, who I think is their closer. So, yeah, the Pirates, they got a better team than the last 5 years combined. And this year, I think it's going to be the start of a few good years for the Pirates. So, really excited to see the Pirates try to win. That's really exciting. Then in third, we got. I'm going to regret this. I have a bad feeling I'm going to regret this. But I got the Brewers in third. And the Brewers, their offseason didn't really excite me that much. Traded away Isaac Collins and Nick Mears. Traded away Freddie Peralta, which was, I guess, the right thing to do. And then also trading away Caleb Durbin just baffled me. I don't know why they did that. But David Hamilton, to their credit, he's looked pretty good. Stealing bases. He's just got to get on more. And then also still have Bryce Terang, which he's really starting to pick up his offense. Still got Contreras, still got Yelich, still got Churio whenever he comes back. And then I guess the Brewers' ace now is Mizorowski. Jacob Mizorowski, he's really fun to watch. And then they still got Brandon Woodruff, Quinn Priester whenever he comes back. And then out of the bullpen, they got Abner Uribe, Trevor McGill, Jared Koenig, which is a really underrated reliever. The Brewers team, they still should be really solid. But I don't know. I thought the Reds got better than the Brewers this year, and I also think the Cubs got really better. But I don't know. The Brewers, they just seem to find their way to the top of the NL Central every year. And I don't know, by how the way they've started, this might be another year of that. So, yeah, I got the Brewers in third, but I think I'm going to regret that. Coming in second, I got the Reds. And the Reds, I said this before Hunter Green got hurt, and I still think they're going to be pretty good even without Hunter Green. I mean, they started 8-3. Andrew Abbott's a stud. Nick Lodolo's really good, but he's got issues with blistering right now, so hopefully he can be back. Chase Burns has looked pretty good to start the season. And then they got some hitters, They brought in Eugenio Suarez. He comes back, and he looks pretty good. L.A. De La Cruz is still L.A. De La Cruz. Matt McLean's solid. They still got Noelvi Marte. TJ Frito's a really good player. And, yeah, the Reds, they have a really good team. Still got Santillan and Pagan at the end of the pen. And even Ashcraft as well. So, yeah, I think the Reds are going to be contending for a playoff spot again. Also, Sal Stewart and Tyler Stevenson, they have two, and Spencer Steer. Yeah, the Reds have a really good team. They have a really good team, and I'm really excited to see how they play this year. And, yeah, I think the Reds are going to be second place to the Cubs in the NL Central. And the Cubs, They kept the same team as last year pretty much, but they brought in Edward Cabrera and Alex Bregman. You still got Carson Kelly, who had a really good year last year. Um, Michael Bush is really good. Seiya Suzuki's really fun. You extended Pete Kerr Armstrong and Nico Horner, which is really fun to see. Those two get paid. Nico, or not Nico, Dansby Swanson's still here. Ian Happ is still here. And then their pitching staff. Cade Horton just went down, which stinks, but it's okay. You still have Shota Himanaga, Edward Cabrera, like I mentioned. Justin Steele should be back sometime this year. But yeah, their bullpen still got Daniel Palencia closing it out. And yeah, the Cubs, they haven't really lost much. And sure, their start of the season hasn't been promising. I think they're at the bottom of the Central right now. But there's still plenty of time for them to get to the top of the Central like they were for most of last year. So, yeah, I think the Cubs are going to win the division this year. Hopefully they don't prove me wrong. And, yeah, Cubs top of the NL Central for the first time since, I want to say 2020? But in a full season, it would be 2017, I want to say. Ooh. But it's always time to change. Now, we go to the National League West, the last division on the board. And coming in last, I think it's pretty obvious what I'm going to say here. It's the Rockies. The Rockies, they should be better. They should be better than what they were last year. Obviously, last year was just an abomination of a team. Hunter Goodman's leading the way. Still got Tovar. Still got Doyle. Besides that, there's a lot of moving parts. Jordan Beck is still here. But then the pitching staff, I have no idea what's going on with that. Chase Dollander looks pretty good. Kyle Freeland's still there. Antonio Senzatella got moved to the bullpen. I don't know if Seth Halverson's still on the team or if he's hurt, but if he's still with them, that's fun. I like Seth Halverson last year. He looked pretty good. But yeah, the Rockies, they don't have much going on for them at the current moment. They're still a long ways away from competing. And yeah, Rockies 5th in the West. Coming in 4th, I got the Giants. And the Giants, there's not a lot of good vibes going on with San Francisco right now. Got a rookie manager, Tony Vitello, who you brought from Tennessee, which not sure if that was the right idea, Chief, but it's what they did. I like the Giants offseason. I really did. I did like their offseason. You know, bringing in Luis Ariz from the Padres, bringing in Harrison Bader. Who else did they sign? I thought they signed somebody else. I could be wrong. But you still got Matt Chapman, still got Patrick Bailey, Elliot Ramos, Jung-Hoo Lee, Willie Adames is still here, and Devers. And then also the pitching staff. You got Logan Webb, you got Robbie Ray. There's other names that I'm forgetting, but out of the bullpen, Randy Rodriguez isn't there. He got hurt, which stinks. I don't really know what the Giants' bullpen is. But yeah, they have a lot of weird vibes going on right now, San Francisco. And I don't really like it. I don't really like the clubhouse vibes going on over there. So, yeah, I got the Giants in 4th. In 3rd, I got the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks, I think they did a good job bringing in some veterans to this team. This is a really young team, and I think veteran leadership of Arenado and Santana is really nice. Still got Gabby Moreno. Still have, I think, Lourdes Gurriel. Traded Blaze Alexander away to Arizona, to Baltimore, which stinks. But you still got the big three and Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, and Geraldo Perdomo. Um, Still got Alec Thomas out in center. And Jose Fernandez now, too. He just got called up, and he looks pretty good. And then the pitching staff. Hopefully Corbin Burns comes back this year. Brandon Fought's still here. Merrill Kelly is back. Zach Gallen is back. It's good to see them back. And yeah, I think the Diamondbacks are going to have a pretty good year. Maybe a playoff spot. Maybe, but I don't know. They still have a really good team. It's just, can they make the playoffs? We'll have to find out. Coming in second, slightly in front of Arizona, I got the Padres. The Padres, they still have a pretty good team. Still got Manny, still got Fernando. Ramon Laureano is still there. He's basically their third best hitter on the team, in my opinion. Maybe even second. Maybe even the best. Who knows? Still have Jackson Merrill. Still have Bogarts. You lost Ryan O'Hearn, which stinks, but at least you still have. Oh, you also lost to Rise. At least you still have Freddie Fermin catching. You still have Michael King as the ace of the team, as well as Nick Pivetta. Yu Darvish is out for the season. You lost Dylan Cease. And the Padres, they're a different team than the past. They're not as strong as what they once were. And I still think they have the second best team in the West. Especially since their bullpen is just so stacked with Morahone, Estrada, Mason Miller, Jason Adam when he comes back. There's another name I'm forgetting. Adam, Morahone, Estrada, Miller. Who's the other name? Not David Morgan. That's not who I'm thinking of. There's another all-star in the Padres bullpen. Hold on a second here. This is going to piss me off when I figure out who this is. Because I can picture this person. I literally can picture this person. I just can't think of his name at the moment. Oh, I forgot they have Gavin Sheets and Jake Cronenworth still there. Which those two are solid players. Here we go, pitching. Oh, Randy Vasquez had a great start to the season. Yuki Matsui, not him. Oh, they brought in Griffin Canning and Joe Musgrove. Like the Padres, they have great pitching on the shelf. Like they have a great team on the shelf right now. Oh, and they brought in Miguel Andujar too. And Castellanos. If the Padres, they have a great team. It's just, can they figure it out and mesh it together? That's what I think has got to happen if they're going to make the playoffs. And obviously, way into the NL West is the team on my shirt, the Dodgers. The Dodgers, they're a super team. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Kyle Tucker now, Teoscar Hernandez, Pages, Muncy. Who else do they got? Norma Kershaw, he retired. But you got Glasnow, Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani again, Emmett Sheehan. Then you also got in the pen, Will Klein's got a more extended role. You signed Edwin Diaz to be the closer. Still have Tanner Scott. Still have Alex Vesia, Brusdar Graterol whenever gets back healthy. And the Dodgers are the Dodgers. They are going to be hard to beat. So now let's take a look at the playoff teams. The division winners, I got the Dodgers, Cubs, and Mets. Now the playoff teams, which there's going to be some teams that I'm going to rule out. Like the Pirates, I'm going to rule out. The Braves, the Giants, Diamondbacks, and I think I am going to rule out the Padres. I think the only NL West team that's going to make the playoffs is the Dodgers. So the playoff teams that I have, or the wild card teams I have, are the Reds, Brewers, and the Phillies. Those are going to be my three wild card teams, joining the division winners, Dodgers, Cubs, and Mets, to make the playoffs this year. So now let's go to NL Cy Young, which obviously there's a lot of hype around Skeens. There's a lot of hype around Yamamoto. Christopher Sanchez has gotten a lot of hype. And I really like all of those three players. I really do. But I want to go with somebody different. Now the question is, who is that deserving somebody to get Cy Young? And I'm going to look no further than the Cincinnati Reds and say Andrew Abbott. I think Andrew Abbott's going to get Cy Young this year. I was debating between him and Logan Webb, but I'm going to say Andrew Abbott. Andrew Abbott, it's a hitters-friendly ballpark, and he's done a really great job of turning that into his playground whenever he pitches every fifth day. And yeah, Andrew Abbott was an all-star last year. I think he should be pretty good again. And I honestly think he could be the best pitcher in the entire National League. And so Andrew Abbott is my Cy Young pick. And then Rookie of the Year, I'm just going to go chalk and say J.J. Weatherholt, because he's looked really damn good, just like Kevin McGonigal to start the season. But I don't know. It could be Jose Fernandez. Fernandez has been really good too. And but I'm going to say it's going to be J.J. Weatherholt. So, division winners, Mets, Cubs, Dodgers, to recap the NL, and the wild card teams, Reds, Brewers, Phillies, and then Rookie of the Year, J.J. Weatherholt, Cy Young, Andrew Abbott, and I forgot about it. Oh my God. Oh my God. J.J. Weatherholt, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, Andrew Abbott. I almost forgot about NL MVP, which, my God, that would have been bad. But yeah, it's the same thing like the AL. Where I got to see someone beat Judge to believe it could be anyone else but Judge. It's the same thing in the NL. I got to see somebody beat Ohtani to think that there could be somebody else different than Shohei Ohtani. So my NL MVP is obviously Shohei Ohtani again. But yeah, it just seems like Judge and Ohtani are the best two hitters on the planet right now, and there's nothing anyone can do to take away those MVPs. So yeah, that's it for my baseball predictions. My NL MVP pick is Shohei Ohtani. Let me just remind myself of that so I don't forget. And yeah, thank you all for watching. See y'all later. RV out. Peace. Have a great rest of the baseball season. Hopefully I won't be 2 weeks late next year.